From action-packed blockbusters to star-studded dramas, Netflix has poured hundreds of millions into its original films. But are these sky-high budgets really paying off? Here are the most expensive Netflix movies ever made, including one that cost $200 million and another that couldn't even break through despite its $150 million price tag. Set in a dystopian world, J-Lo plays a data analyst hunting down a rogue robot with the help of artificial intelligence, even though she hates it. With space, robots, and tons of special effects, it's no wonder this film's budget hit $100 million. Directed by Brad Peyton, Atlas also boasts an impressive cast, including Simu Liu, Sterling K. Brown, Mark Strong, and Lana Parrilla. Even though critics weren't exactly kind to the movie, it was a hit on Netflix, landing in the top 10 in 93 countries. But don't be fooled. Netflix's top 10 lists have been called out before for reflecting what the platform wants you to watch, not necessarily what's trending. George Clooney's The Midnight Sky brought him back in front of the camera after a 4-year break, and this time, he's both starring and directing. The movie, based on the novel, follows Clooney as an aging scientist racing through the Arctic to warn a spaceship not to return to a doomed Earth. With Felicity Jones and David Oyelowo rounding out the cast, Netflix poured $100 million into this visually stunning sci-fi flick. Clooney called it a mashup of Gravity and The Revenant. And given that The Revenant screenwriter Mark L. Smith worked on this project, that vibe isn't a coincidence. The movie didn't exactly light up the box office in its limited theatrical run, but it did grab an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects. Will Smith as a cop paired with an orc. In a world where humans and magical creatures coexist, that's bright. Netflix splashed out $106 million for this fantasy action hybrid, where Smith and Joel Edgerton, as the orc cop, are trying to protect a magic wand and prevent a catastrophe. The film was a gamble that paid off for Netflix, bringing in new subscribers in droves. Interestingly, screenwriter Max Landis wrote the script specifically for director David Ayer and even turned down an extra $1 million just to ensure Ayer took the helm. Although Bright was initially set for a sequel, it got delayed and eventually scrapped after Will Smith's infamous Oscar slap. In 2022. When you throw Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal, Charlie Hunnam, and Garrett Hedlund into one action film, you're looking at a hefty price tag. Triple Frontier follows a group of ex-Special Forces soldiers pulling off a heist in South America, only for everything to go south, fast. With betrayal, intense action sequences, and sweeping landscapes, this film racked up a $115 million budget. It was an expensive bet for Netflix, but with that star power, it's no surprise why. Set in the 14th century, Outlaw King tells the story of Robert the Bruce, a Scottish hero battling to free Scotland from English rule. Starring Chris Pine, Florence Pugh, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, the film didn't hold back on the epic scale, with its sprawling battle scenes, detailed costumes, and massive sets driving the budget to $120 million. But it wasn't just the action, and the political intrigue and complex character dynamics added a rich layer to this historical drama. Ryan Reynolds' Starer is an action-packed film that follows a group of 6 vigilantes, led by a billionaire who faked his death to fight global crime. The team executes high-stakes missions to dismantle criminal organizations. Also starring a strong ensemble cast of Melanie Laurent, Manuel Garcia Rulfo, and Ben Hardy, the film received mixed views but attained good viewership numbers on Netflix. Axel F., the 4th installment of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, had a direct-to-streaming release on Netflix. The action comedy film stars Eddie Murphy in the titular role of a police officer who returns to Beverly Hills after learning that his daughter is threatened. He then teams up with his old friends and his daughter's boyfriend to uncover a conspiracy. The film received generally positive reviews and garnered 41 million views in 5 days. With names like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Martin Scorsese attached to the project, Netflix decided to invest a whopping $160 million in The Irishman. The epic gangster film spans several decades and follows Frank Sheeran, a hitman who recounts his life and involvement with the mob. As Frank reflects on his role in various criminal activities and his impact on history, the story delves into themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of a life in crime. The critically acclaimed movie received 10 nominations at the 92nd Academy Awards. Red Notice was one of the most awaited films of 2021, with stars like Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. The action-comedy film revolves around John Hartley, an FBI agent, who was on the hunt for a notorious art thief, Sarah Blackshaw, the Bishop. Things get interesting when the agent reluctantly teams up with a rival thief, Nolan Booth, to catch the Bishop. While the film faced some negative reception, it became the 5th most streamed movie of 2021. At number 1 is Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans' Starer, action thriller film The Gray Man. With 2 Hollywood heartthrobs on board, Netflix decided to infuse $200 million into the project. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the movie focuses on Court Gentry, a skilled assassin who discovers dangerous secrets about his own agency, becomes a target for a deadly international manhunt, and gets hunted by a sociopathic killer, Lloyd Hansen. Despite its sky-high budget, The Gray Man got mixed reviews from critics,